Friday Night Live with Cat Carter. Get ready, set, let's go. Come on. It's Friday night. It's Friday Night Live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. Hey. It's Friday night. It's Friday night. Yeah. It's Friday night with Cat Carter. It's Friday night. It's Friday Night Live. It's Friday night. It's Friday night with Cat.
Hey, welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Cat Carter. How is everybody doing this evening? OMG. If y'all are here tonight, y'all are in for some great, rich, informative information. I have Dr. Ojiako. She's here. Oh my goodness. And I'm just so honored and excited to have her on the show. So let me tell you a little bit about the show, and I'm going to bring her right on in, and we're going to get this ball rolling. So Friday Night Live is a positive platform where we come to inform, innovate, and inspire. Yes. All right. And then I want to let you all know that we are now on LinkedIn. We are streaming live on LinkedIn actually today. So we are now on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and LinkedIn. Oh my goodness. We're just moving right along, aren't we, Cheryl? Wow. Yes. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Ojiako, and then I'm going to bring her on. Dr. Ojiako is the founder of Gibraltar Medical, which is a 501c3 nonprofit organization and creator of the popular free health care app, Melanin Medical Specialties, which is available on Apple and Google. So the goal of this app is to have a comprehensive list of Black healthcare professionals in the nations and connect the mentees to mentors. She has worked with Advocate Health for the past 19 years in the area of hospice and palliative medicine. Please welcome to Friday Night Live, Dr. Ojiako. I'm just so excited. I don't even know what to do. Oh my goodness. How are you, Dr. Ojiako? Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I know you're busy. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. I'm just so excited about our topic tonight and what we're going to be discussing. So, what are we going to be talking about tonight, Dr. Ojiako?
Hey, Catherine. I am so excited for real being on your platform tonight. That's amazing. So, we are going to be talking about all things STEM. Why STEM? And listen, it's not the traditional why STEM question answer. We are going to go all out there and
Yeah.
just make a case for why we need us in the field of STEM.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All
Yes.
right. So I'm gonna sit back and let you go ahead and tell us a little bit about it. I want to remind the viewers, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and Dr. Ojiako will try to get as many of them as we can. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. You gotta get the PowerPoint up. Let's see.
Okay. So before we get started, just a shout out to everyone who's watching right now. If you have family, if you have children, students who are kind of thinking of STEM, this right here is the place to be. So pull up
Yes.
phones, let them know. Send them a text. Come on. Come join Friday Night Live with Kat. Okay? Okay.
Yes.
Go.
All right. While Dr. Ojiako's getting that together, let me see. Tina Wilson's on here. Earl St. Gerald's on here. Let's see. Portland Nisi Ward is on here. Karani is on here. Oh, I got to tell y'all about Karan. I got to tell y'all about Karan. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit when we have a little break. Amy Worth. Hey, Amy. Walter Williams is here. Let's see. Mom is here. Shirley NBC. I wonder what NO stands for. They said, go, go, Dr. Ojiako. I wonder who that is. All right. Okay. So it did come up. So I think it's on email. So you got to go to the, remember how we,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
see,
yeah.
Unk on. It's your emails. You got to go
I
to,
know. Mm,
I don't want to put that up there. Unk
how do
on. Yay, Dr. Okiako. Oh my goodness. You got some people on here. They ready. They are ready.
I? You know what? I'm gonna ask you to share right now. So let's stop sharing.
Me? Oh, the
Yes.
people?
You can you share?
Oh, okay. Let me see if I can pull it. I have put it away. Let me see. Okay, you guys hold on a second. Sometimes this happens, but we got it. Let's see. Um, let us see here. That Dr. Ojiako, if you want to talk a little bit, you can while I'm pulling it. I gotta go pull it from the email.
Okay, great, great. So I'm trying to get out of the screen on my laptop, but oh well. So today we have a super, super exciting topic, and that's why STEM. I want you guys to pull out your chairs, open up your ears, eyes focused, because we have a lot to share. And before you know it, this 1 hour is going to be way past like zoom, zoom, zoom. But at the end of the day, you're going to have so much information that will empower you and, let you know that you can do it. We can do it. We can do it. In our community, we need more of us in STEM. And that's what this conversation today is all about. So let's.
I'm sorry, Dr. Ojiako. Of course, I had it down and then I put it.
Let's
I'm
okay.
trying to find the.
I'm gonna try one more. Oh, okay, okay.
I know you sent it. I gotta figure out what email it's in. Let's see. Hmm.
Okay.
Where is it? Let's see.
Try. I'm gonna try one more
I
time.
just looked at it.
Think. Hmm.
Hold on, y'all. Y'all hold on. That means this is gonna be really, really good. I'm
I
telling
know
y'all.
that's right.
I'm telling y'all. Just hold on. Hold on, just a second. What did I do with it? 'Cause I just looked at it.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do
I hope
is.
I didn't delete. Oh,
That's okay. That's okay. Can I share my drive on your platform?
uh, I'm coming back to you. I know you think I'm looking at you, but I'm not. I'm coming back right now.
Okay.
Okay,
Be-
I did find it. If you need me to do it, but
Okay, go
whatever
ahead.
you want to do.
Go
You
ahead.
want me to do it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me share screen. This one. Okay. There it is.
Okay, yes. Finally, are we gonna? hmm,
So you just have to tell me when to go to the next slide, and then I can. Can you see where I am on your side?
I can. I see you
Okay.
very well. Yeah.
Okay. All
So
right.
let's go ahead and get started. We've taken a few minutes, but let's go to the next page. We're talking about STEM, all things STEM today. And let's go back over 50 years ago. Martin Luther King Jr. said, of all the forms of inequality, injustice in healthcare is the most shocking and inhumane. And guess what? Over 50 years later, we're still having that conversation in the greatest nation in the world, United States of America. Next slide. I'm a physician with Advocate Health. October is going to make it 20 years. And guess what? Every time I walk into a room and the patient looks like me in terms of, racial tones, I see them just almost relax, like, oh, okay. The conversation is deeper, there's that bonding. And at the end of the visit, many times, 9 out of 10, they will say to me, they'll have a question: do you have a clinic outside here where I can see you? And then the other thing is, if they don't have their children, they're depending on where I see my patients. I'll hear them say, man, I wish my children could meet you. Or if they have their children there, the conversation goes off on a different tangent where we talk about, things they're thinking about pursuing and letting them know that it's all out there available for them. Next. So in 2018, what was one of the things that made me decide to go on this journey to founding my own nonprofit organization? In 2018, I had a license that I had to renew. And, I chose a location to renew that license. And right off the bat, they said everyone in this renewal cycle is all going to be physicians. So I knew that walking in. I go in there, there are about 30 of us. And one thing you're going to find out, remember, we're talking about why STEM, is the higher you go, the less people that look like us that you see. So when I walked in there was nothing unusual. I was the only person fine. So it was broken up into a theory, where we talk about things, conversations, and then a practical part of it. So we did the conversations and then we had to go to do the practical, and it was broken up into about 3 groups. And in each group, there might have been 10 people. So I'm in my group, smack in the middle of everyone. And the first person goes on, second, 3, 4, 5. I'm number 5 or 6. And when it comes to my turn to do the practical aspect, the lady looks at me and she says to me, "Are you a doctor?" And I thought to myself, no other person had been asked that question. At that time, I wasn't even thinking too much, but later I remembered they said it was a physician-only class. So I looked at her and said, "Yes, I am." And I went on to do my practical. And then I stopped. I was a little older then, way back when I wouldn't have, like tried to kick the bucket. But this time I stopped a little bit and started to look to see what was different about me that I got that question. Now, would any other person in the group be asked the same question? So they went on, boom, 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 all the way to the 10th person. No one got that question. It was just like, then as she was doing this, I said, okay, maybe they have name tags and I don't have mine. Maybe that's what it is. So I looked through. Only one person had their name tag. And the reason I knew it was a name tag was I knew what our name tags looked like. That guy had it tucked into his pocket. You couldn't see it. You could just see the upper part of it. And because I knew what it looked like, I knew it was a name tag, but that was the only person in our group. Then I thought, maybe it's the way we're dressed. I had on a pair of denims, a nice shirt. I looked around. Some people, looked like they had rolled out of bed. And nothing wrong with that. It was a Saturday. It was, a course you were doing in your off time. So it was none of those things. So everyone went out to leave. And, she motioned, we were done. It's time to go back to your seat. I stayed there and she looked at me with a question in her eyes, like, "People are leaving. Why are you still standing here?" And I asked her, I said, "Why did you ask me that question?" And I saw her, kind of change a little bit, flush. And she said, "Because they told me there was a PA, a physician assistant, in the class." And I thought to myself, a PA, that's great, but no other person got asked that question. Well, I went on to do the test, finished, passed, and left. But then from that, I started to think about all the different things, unconscious bias, things that people face on a regular basis, and how it can rear up its head. So why did she have that unconscious bias? Let's go to the next slide and we'll talk a little bit. What are the numbers? Well, we're talking about why STEM. Black doctors are less than 5.6% of the nation's population. Black APNs, less than 4.7%. Black dentists, less than 3.8%. Black psychiatrists, less than 3.9%. And Black therapists, less than 4.1%. So you see that we need more Blacks in STEM, period. We're heavily underrepresented, and when we're not seen, the assumption is that when you come in, you are not the expected. Next. So, is there a problem? And I'm going to leave you to answer this. Now, Black people, out of every race in the nation, have the highest rates of infant and maternal mortality. I'm going to share the story of Shalon Irvin. She was a Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health alumni. She was an epidemiologist at the CDC, and she was working on a research aimed to address health disparities in the nation. Well, 3 weeks after giving birth to her daughter Solel in 2017, she died. Prior to that, she had had a cesarean section, she had had high blood pressures, had severe headaches, swelling at the CS site, and lower extremity swelling. And she had gone many times to the hospital. And each time they sent her back home saying, oh, it's normal signs of, people postpartum. And eventually she slumped in her kitchen floor and eventually died. Well, she had private health insurance. She was educated. She had everything that you will think, quote unquote, that you needed to be taken, just to have your concerns heard and be evaluated. But everything she had did not protect her from some of the things that we as Black people experience in the nation. Next. Now, why STEM? There's been a study by the Health Resources and Services Administration, and it concludes that there's a 30.6 day, that's a full month, greater life expectancy among Black people when there's a 10% increase in representation by Black primary care physicians. Also, we have higher rates of premature death than white people, and we have worse health outcomes across board. And Black men in particular have the lowest life expectancy of any demographic group, living on average 4.5 fewer years than a Caucasian male. So if you think that there's someone in your family, in your community, around your neighborhood that is interested in STEM, and you're wondering, should they not? How do I encourage that person? There are 1,001 reasons why we should be vested in our children, in our community, deciding to pursue careers in STEM. Next slide. Now, as we go on to the next slide, the question is, do Black doctors matter? Well, there's a 50% reduction in infant mortality rate when we have a Black child cared by a doctor of the same race. And for Black men, 47% of them are more likely to take their diabetic medications. 72% of them are more likely to get their cholesterol screening. 56% of our men are more likely to get a flu shot, and 19% reduction in cardiovascular mortality when you have a Black primary care physician. So the numbers, next slide, the numbers speak for themselves, and it's clear that there is a need for representation in STEM. Now, let's look at the patient's perspectives. As a nurse, this is a nurse saying this, we're taught that there's an inherent distrust of the medical field by Black people, and that is related to experiences time and time again. A lot of us on this platform, I'm sure we've heard of the Tuskegee experiment, where Black patients who had syphilis went in thinking they were being treated for syphilis, but they were being given placebos, not treated, and being watched to see the effect of severe syphilis. And, this wasn't found out until way later. What about Henrietta Lacks, the woman whose stem cells were used, reproduced, and she did not know about it? She went in for a routine procedure, not routine, but she went in for a health procedure, left, and her stem cells were harvested and used. So there is a reason why time and time again, Black people really are defensive and questioning the system. Next slide.
Dr. Ojiako.
Yes.
So we know a lot about Henrietta Lacks on this platform because every year I give away her book.
Oh, wow.
Because it's very dear to me, just her story.
Yes.
And I think now the family is just now getting some
settled.
Just now, and that was like she died in like it says 1951, but
Correct.
for the doctors just to take her cells, but they were very unique cells. Remember, they were like multiplying that it wouldn't
Yeah.
die under,
Yeah.
and it was just something. But for them to take the cells, and she
Idea.
got no kind of compensation for it. And so I think the family now is kind of getting compensation. So when I saw this on your slide, I said, oh, yeah, we know about the HeLa cells. We know about them. Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And, some of the patient's perspectives, there are patients that come in. This patient is talking about lupus and, sometimes just saying to her healthcare providers, I am in pain. And sometimes not being taken, her pain symptoms not being adequately managed. But when she's with healthcare providers that have had that experience in their home, they're more likely to take those symptoms seriously. And then what about healthcare professionals themselves? Talking about some of the things that the witness from the care perspective and from going in as a patient. So, STEM is a conversation that we should be having, next slide, actively, and really wondering what can we do differently to increase the numbers. So let's go into the meat of it. What is STEM? We all know it. It's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Next slide. I wish I could do this myself. I'm sorry. So how would you feel if you walked in and you had your healthcare providers and you saw representation amongst your race? It just makes you feel a certain kind of way, like, okay, here we go. There's that trust factor. You're on board with that treatment. You're listening. They're listening. You're having conversations where you both hear each other. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen with every other race, but when there's something about seeing you that just makes you lean in a little more and relax into that conversation. Next. Why does STEM matter? There's endless possibilities in STEM, from career options to, leadership, to so many things next like that you can do in the world of STEM. And we're going to go through examples of careers in STEM. Far too often when we talk about STEM, we're thinking healthcare, we're thinking engineering, but that next slide, there's so much more that we can do. Some of it, and the reason I have this slide here is you aspire to what you see. It matters that we know what's out there, because when we don't, it's not even in your radar. You're not thinking about it. So, what about those children of ours that are artists, that love art? There's art therapy. There is art therapy. It's STEM. What about children that love animals? Well, vet. It's all STEM. How many parents talk about walking into their home and their children are right on their video games? Like you can't get them off it. Well, consider designing video games. What about those children that love to teach and they're always, maybe they're an older child that is always corpsiding a younger one? Well, you can teach in STEM. What about therapy, physical therapy, music therapy, hearing aid specialists, a dental hygienist, the list, paramedics, the list goes on and on and on, software developer, chiropractor. There's a whole world of so many different things you can do. Next slide. Now, some of the things that we learn in STEM and every other career choice out there is there's critical thinking, because you have to have a logical thought process. So STEM will help you with critical thinking. Well, what about when you have to do those experiments? Teamwork. You learn how to collaborate with your team members. And you have to, sometimes you got to break down those projects. It teaches you time management. And next slide. And as we talk about, jobs in STEM, we just came out through a pandemic and we all know what happened. in healthcare. Jobs all over the place, people being offered X number of dollars to come out and fill in those positions. And now let's go to our history. And there's a reason we're talking about history in STEM. Does your history matter? I'm asking. What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? Put it in the comments. Does your history matter?
Yeah. Just want to.
I think it does. You think it does, Cheryl?
Yes, ma'am, I do. I really, really, really do.
Let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Karani says, yes, of
Okay.
course it
Yeah.
does.
Thank
Deborah
you.
Pitts,
Absolutely.
absolutely. Mama Shirley, absolutely. Cheryl, yes. Exclamation point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
just
They
know where
listening.
you
They
would
listening.
fit in with
Well,
it.
I know that's right. So, our history, I mean, it's everything. It matters. Next slide. And so, when I put the slide in here, so I want you guys go in the comment section. Who is the founder of Tesla? Who is the founder of Microsoft? Who is the founder of Apple? And I want you guys like real speedy. Who are the founders? And I know that we all know the answer to that question, right?
Mhm,
Yes, we do.
mhm.
Next slide. So I'm going to ask you another question. Who performed the first successful open heart surgery in this nation? We're talking about STEM. Who
Oh, wow.
performed the first successful open heart surgery in this nation?
My guess,
Okay,
my guess is
giving you guys a little bit of time. So let's see. Anyone coming up with the answer? Who performed the first successful open heart surgery? Come on, guys. Comment, comment, comment.
Okay, we got somebody. Daniel Hale Williams.
Yes! Woohoo! Shirley, you go. Yes. Let's go. Yes. Well, good, good. We got that now. Let's go to the next slide.
Okay.
And the reason I put this in, our history matters. In 1893, Dr. Williams, yes, we need that foundation, absolutely, became the first surgeon in America to perform a successful open heart surgery on a human, Black American, here in Chicago at Providence Hospital, by, right down there by Hyde Park in
Wow.
summer of 1893. And the reason this matters is when you know your history, you walk with your head held up straight, knowing who you are. When you enter a space, regardless of where you walk into, if you know your history, everyone is not going to like you. Some people might want to put you down, but when you know what stock you come from, you know that you are well able. Next slide. So, still on the history, these two pictures, do we know who they are? And that's okay if we don't, because I had to do a little Googling for the one on the left. The guy on the right, yep. Let's go to the next slide. And that is the lady is Miss Colbert. She was part of the people that developed Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Kismaker Corbett, Moderna COVID vaccine. And then Robert Smith, I'm sure we know him. Remember a couple of years ago where he was asked to give the the speech. I think it was from Morehouse College, and he ended up paying all the student debt
I
for
remember
all
that.
this. That's
Hmm.
him, Robert F. Smith, the founder, chairman, and CEO of Vista Equity. So it matters. History, history, history. And in the world of today, where let's go back a little bit.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you're right. You're right. You're fine. And in the world of today, where everything is available to us on Google, I want to encourage everyone listening today, once a month at the minimum, learn something about Black history, something that empowers you, something that encourages you along your journey. Next slide. So, STEM, was it easy? Is it going to be easy? Absolutely not. There are days you're going to wake up and ask yourself, why on earth did I decide to go on this journey? But guess what? Your history, your tribe is going to help you. As I sit here today, I've done many different jobs. I worked at J.C. Penney. I've worked at Giordano's. I've worked at Marshall Fields before it became Macy's. And the list goes on and on. And it was not easy. I had to go there, stand 8-hour shifts from start to finish. So the question is, what kind of herd are you going to choose? What kind of herd are you going to choose? STEM matters. Next slide. Finally, I leave you with this. Find mentors, find your tribe, look for people that you're going to shadow, and connect with agencies making a difference, wanting to empower our community. Next slide. And one of those agencies will be Gibraltar Medical. We have a free healthcare app. Go ahead, download it. You can connect to mentors on that app. And STEM matters. In 2023, in America, there's so much we can do. There's ways we can help our communities. There's ways we can improve healthcare outcomes, and there's ways we can increase trust in the healthcare system.
Is that the last slide, Dr. Ojiako?
It is. We have one more slide, but that's it.
Okay. You all can take your cell phones if you have them and get the bar on there if you want to. I'm gonna leave it up there
They
for a little.
open up the camera, they can scan that QR code.
The QR code, yeah. Donna O'Neill, Elder Darling says, thank you for encouraging us to embrace our history. Yes.
Oh, yes.
So we are opening up for questions. Please, questions, comments, put them in the chats, please. You can do that right now. This was very informative, very, very interesting. Um, um, v. I'm not sure what that means. Okay. So this was very, 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 very informative. And I was very taken back by the statistics of when you look at the different, when you look at the doctors and stuff,
Yeah.
that was very alarming. And also when you talked about the men and how just having a doctor that was the same race as them, it increased the numbers. I thought that was very interesting as well. Yes, they are enjoying this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Thank
Look at this.
you.
Very informative. I enjoyed her story. Very, very nice. How did you come up with your organization name?
Oh my goodness, I love
I
that
was curious about that too.
question.
Hmm.
So that's a thank you, Shirley, for asking that. So zebra, for the stripes and the zebra, because in our community we're all different shades and hues, so that's where the zebra came from. And the altar is my faith. So putting it together came up with Gibraltar.
Oh wow, that's really cool.
Yeah.
What is the difference between hospice and polit- palliative
Maybe.
medicine? Just so
Oh,
that they know. Yeah, am I saying that
okay.
right?
Oh, yeah, you are. That's a great question. So, when we talk about hospice medicine, it's, medicine tailored to patients that we think have 6 months or less to live. Well, we have patients that go on to, stay for about a year, a little more than a year, but they still qualify for hospice because of all the disease things going on in their lives. However, palliative care is really patients with chronic medical illnesses that are not looking for hospice care, end of life care, but need that extra support where they have a nurse practitioner, a physician that takes care of those chronic illnesses, even as they continue to seek aggressive treatment. So with hospice, it's end of life care. You're no longer seeking aggressive treatment. But with palliative care, you're getting that extra care, but you can still continue to seek aggressive treatment. Yeah. So that's the
Okay.
big thing.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. I need to take one quick break and give a few few announcements, and then we're going to come back to Dr. Ojiako. Dr. Ojiako, do not go nowhere. You all get your questions together.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. What am I doing? Because we still have one more screen. We have one more thing on the slide, don't we?
Yeah, but it's just really empowering people. Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So I will be right back. I think I'm gonna leave it right here. Hold on. Let me see. Yes, I'm gonna leave it right here. Okay. So I want to let you all know that my other media director who is over there on Twitch, this is her birthday weekend. So we want to say happy birthday to Karan. So y'all make sure you all put that in the chat. All right. And then this discussion is part of a survey. Remember, we started doing the research last week with Dr. Battle. This week is Dr. Ojiako. And so please, Cheryl's going to pin
Yeah.
the survey in the comments. Please take the survey. It's an anonymous survey. You don't put your name, you don't put nothing. It takes probably maybe 3 minutes. But this is part of a study that I'm doing just to see how public health podcasts and discussions, how that affects you. If is it, are you learning? Does the information that you're getting from this podcast, is it making you think about or wanting you to do better in your health and other areas of your life? So please, if you would, please take that survey. All right. Okay. Let me go back to Dr. Ojiako. All
Hmm.
right. Let me see what's on here.
Okay.
Uh, let's see. I gotta go down, Dr. Ojiako. Let's
Yeah.
see. Oh,
So
everybody's wishing Karan happy birthday. What'd you say, Dr. Ojiako?
I just wanted to say, when we think about STEM, one of the things I would encourage parents to do is to start early. Let's start getting our children involved in activities in school. If there are things in the community, in the library that would encourage them towards that goal of taking courses in STEM, that's something we want to look into. And, just doing that a little at a time will help our children generate that interest and see that there are options to them in the field of STEM.
So what is the what is the appropriate age to start the children in, like, for STEM?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I think part of, because we have to look at our children and what their interest is in school.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a child that is in going into middle school, and
Mm-hmm.
you notice that they're doing well in their science related coursework, then
Mm-hmm.
that's a time to start exposing them even more to things. There's AXO, the AXO program, exposing them a little more to programs that will harness, their interests, their skills, and show them a world of STEM and all the possibilities there. So I would say middle school is a
Okay.
good age. Yeah.
I think that I could have been a STEM baby. I don't think I started off in science, but definitely when I went to college, I was biology major, pre med,
Okay.
biological science. I was all in there doing all of that stuff. One thing I can say that it has been very rewarding. It has definitely increased my critical thinking. I'll tell you that. Just the problem solving and the research and everything, and I can see how it has helped me to be a better thinker about things. Just being able to critically think about those things in my discipline helps me in my regular life, just in regular things, because I kind of trained my brain, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, yes. So,
Mm-mm.
all right. Did you put the Okay, let me see. Cheryl, let me see if I put
Oh,
the
oh, I see where you put it. Okay.
survey. She's gonna put the survey, and I need you to kind of pin it if you can, so they can just click it and get it. All right. Dr. Ojiako, do you have any final words or anything that you like to say? You can do that right now. You can give some shout outs. You can do whatever you want.
So shout out to NO, who was like, "Hey, Dr. O."
Yeah, do you
Okay.
know who that was?
I think I do, but but the one thing I want to say though for our viewers is live your purpose, whatever that is. STEM isn't for everyone. For those who are interested in STEM, definitely go for it. And sometimes you don't pass the first time. That shouldn't stop you. There are tests that I've had to take more than once. And, but it's not about failing, it's the ability to get up and keep going. So
Yes.
remember that. No, let's know our history because that's going to help us, as we navigate our future.
Okay. I have Dr. Ojiako's website at the bottom of the screen. You can always reach out to her there, find out more about the app that we are talking about. I think that's an amazing app that you have created.
Thank you.
So you all can find out more about that. Um, all right. I don't think I have any more questions. So what did you all think about the podcast tonight? I was like, whoa, this was good. What, oh my goodness. This was really, really good. I mean, this is one of the topics that you don't hear discussed a lot. I mean, you see, well, we can see it because we're in the field, but it's not on the forefront and it's not talked about. And I wonder if there a cause for concern because we don't attract a lot of students or a lot of kids to go into STEM. Like, what does that mean for our future? I mean, what is that as African Americans? I know STEM as a whole, even with that, as I was reading it just to prepare for this, STEM careers help us to be competitive with other countries. So it's major. It's a major thing. Let me see. Much needed topic, Dr. Ojiako.
Yeah. You
Do
know,
you know who that is? Ochi on. Am I saying it right?
I I know who that is, but she's a friend of mine. Thank you for jumping up with
Yes,
me
yes,
and
yes.
leaving that comment. But what I did want to say, Catherine, is that currently in America, less than 7% of Black college students graduate with degrees in STEM. So, piggybacking on what you said, you are spot on. It's a crisis at this point. And, when we look at the future of STEM, when we look at where we're headed as a nation, as a world, STEM is at the forefront. And
Hmm.
if we want to stay competitive, not just as a nation, but in our communities, we have to be intentional about having conversations like this, but even doing more than the conversation, going out there to schools, to community, our churches, and letting families know there's space for us in science, there's space for us in STEM, and our children who are interested in it, let's empower them, give them the tools they need to go out there and succeed. And the other thing I want to say is why this matters. When we talk about that, that's why the app is so relevant.
Yes.
When you go on the app, you're going to see a variety of Black healthcare professionals. You're going to see their pictures on the app. You're going to see the success tips that they live. And for those who have a mentor badge, you can email them through the app and get your questions answered on STEM and career options. And what does that do? It matters that we see ourselves. Representation will always matter. When you go out to the hospitals, we talked about this. There are pictures and pictures on the walls of the hospitals. Far too often, you will not see someone from our race in on those pictures on those walls. And what that does is for people who are not in the field, when you don't see yourself, it's something you're not considering. So
Yeah.
less than 7% of Black college students graduating with degrees in STEM, I think it's a national crisis. And we have to be intentional about doing whatever we can to change those numbers.
Yes. Yes. Elder O'Neill says programs like yours is richly needed because our culture is fading or falling behind. Marilyn says wonderful information. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Well, if there are no more questions, we want to definitely thank you, Dr. Ojiako, for giving of your time and coming and hanging out with us on the show. Oh my goodness, I know that you're very busy, and You could have been doing anything else but hanging out with me, but we really appreciate you coming and explaining to us the importance of STEM, especially in the African American community and the crisis of we need to encourage, especially if we have a young one that really likes those areas, to really push them and mold them and help them to be STEM students. Um, Thank you again for just your encouragement, telling us our history while it was important. Oh my goodness! And then even the little trivia, I had to think about it because I knew the face. I was like, I know who that is. So thank you for all of that. Because I mean, we just go from day to day, but
I know.
you see this stuff and it makes you start thinking the really important things.
Mhm.
Unc On says Gibraltar app has a lot of great information for STEM students. So
Yeah.
that's wonderful to know as well. All
Thank
right. So if that's it, you all say thank you so much to Dr. Ojiako. And when time permits, I would love to have you come back again, maybe when we do this again. This is just wonderful. I've never had a discussion come from this direction
you. Yeah.
in the health thing. And it's very, very important and it needs to be talked about.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
want to give do I need to do your last slide to
No,
go on?
that's fine. You can do it. You can do it, but it was more information for people who had questions about, what organizations they could log on to get support for people considering careers in STEM students. Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right. Everybody's saying thank you. Okay. So Dr. Ojiako, thank you again. Thank you so much. And we really appreciate you coming in and informing us the importance of STEM.
thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. All right. So you take care.
Okay, take care, Kat. See
All
you.
right.
Talk
Okay.
later.
Okay.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Did you all enjoy that? OMG. Wow. That was some really rich information, y'all. Okay, so like if you missed part of the discussion, you can always catch the replay. The replay is on YouTube, is on Facebook, is now on LinkedIn. We are on LinkedIn, and those of you that are on LinkedIn, we want to say hello. Welcome to FML. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. We definitely want to thank Dr. Ojiako again, our preventative measures guest doctor for today. Oh, wow. Wow. Thank you so much. All right. And next week, the man himself is coming back to preventative measures. You all know Dr. Ronald Rember Jr. He is no stranger to Friday Night Live. We are going to be talking about men's health. So we're going to be talking about prostate cancer, testicular cancer, erectile dysfunction, sperm health, men fertility. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about symptoms. We're going to talk about treatments. We're going to talk about risks. We're going to talk about all that stuff. And when I was married, I mean, my most men don't like going to. Well, I shouldn't say that. The ones that I've known, they don't like. They didn't like going to the doctor. They'd rather try to, fix it themselves and stuff. So this is going to be very informative. So if you have a loved one, please have him tune in. He can ask questions. We're going to have another board certified doctor here, so you can ask questions. If you're a female, you are more than welcome to come and find out information for your loved one. Please come and hang out with us. And then again, please do not forget to take the survey. The survey is in the comments. Did you were you able to pin it, or is it in the comments?
The survey is in the comments.
Okay, so please take that survey for me. It's about 3 minutes, and that the more people that do the survey, the more data I can get, so I can see what's what. All right. And again, happy birthday, Karan. She's over there on Twitch holding it down for me, and I really appreciate her. I just want to say, I've always heard that if you get one good friend or a best friend in your life, you're really fortunate, because good friends, really, really good friends that love you just because of who you are. I mean, no no filters, just just as you are. It's hard to find. Usually you have people that are trying to be friends with you because what you have or what they can get from you, and but she, I mean, when I got sick, y'all, she was praying for me. Her mother called me, was praying for me. I mean, it's it's just hard to find. And so I just really appreciate Karan. We've gone on a couple of conferences for Friday Night Live, and I just really appreciate her. So you all, if you haven't already, make sure you say happy birthday to her. Her birthday is actually tomorrow, so she'll be in the streets tomorrow. All right. Okay, so we are done, and we are actually finishing a few minutes early. Can y'all believe that? I know y'all can't. I know y'all can't. All right. So have a great rest of the evening. Are you laughing at me?
No.
You know what? I'm going to end it with Costella. I'm going to end it with Costella. So y'all have a great weekend, and Lord willing, we will see you all next week. Okay, love you guys.
Hey, here we go. This is My Funny Valentine. How's it sound? Sound okay? Okay. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Hey, yeah. My funny Valentine, sweet comic Valentine, you make me smile with my heart. Yeah, your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Hey, yeah, you're my favorite work of art. Yeah, is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? Yeah, baby, but don't change your hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay. Each day is Valentine's Day. Ooh. Hey, Sheila. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, 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 baby. Yeah. Oh, is your figure less than Greek? Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak, baby? Are you smart? Ooh, but do you change, baby? Not if you you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay, stay. Each day is Valentine's. Ooh, each day is Valentine's, yeah. Each day is Valentine's Day. Ooh, yeah. Each day is Valentine's, yeah. All for you and me, baby. Don't change, baby. Each day's for you and me, baby.